Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news right now. We are monitoring 3 breaking news stories. A portion of I-95 is shut down in Cumberland County after a fiery crash.
A police chase in Durham ends in a crash, and we are also monitoring news out of the Vatican. Will there be a new pope? First, new at noon, the risk for severe storms has been expanded across our area. This is a look at a storm system as it moves east. Now, the threat for storms for us is expected to start tonight. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for joining us. WRAL's Elizabeth Gardner is out on the WRAL weather patio live for us this noon, timing out this system, Elizabeth.
That's right. And, because I'm out here on the patio at noon, of course, you get the idea that it's not imminent. We still have a ways to go. There are some thunderstorms that are popping up there in South Carolina. Notice which direction they're headed. Almost due eastward toward the coast. A little bit of that rain could clip, say, the Fayetteville area or even parts of Sampson County with a very small chance for some showers and thunderstorms during the evening commute. But it's likely to be much later, maybe 8, 9, 10 o'clock before we see a real chance of thunderstorms. What's new at noon is that the level 1 risk has been expanded across our entire viewing area. It stopped right about the I-95 corridor, and now it spreads all the way into more of eastern North Carolina. So our entire viewing area is now under a level 1 risk for severe storms. And then same thing again for tomorrow. This is likely to start tonight, continue into the day tomorrow, but the best chance of severe storms tomorrow will be in the afternoon and evening. Here's a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. Nothing really happening in our viewing area yet, but within a few hours it may. This is a look at Futurecast, and we're seeing very cloudy skies here, and you can see that on Futurecast as well. Around 4 or 5 o'clock, a couple of isolated cells pop up, but notice it's closer to 8 or 9 o'clock before we see some of those more impressive looking cells, some heavier rain, a better chance of lightning, and some thunder potentially. That continues overnight. This is 5 a.m. By the time we get to 7 or 8, it's starting to pull out of the viewing area, but it could have some effect on the morning commute, and then dry at lunchtime, and another round of storms develops around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. That moves through by the time we get to, say, 6 o'clock or so. So we're going to continue to talk about this. I'll show you how much rain we could see out of this system and the severe weather threats coming up.
We also have some more breaking news we're following. Durham police are investigating after a chase ended in a crash right near a school, sending that school into a lockdown.
Sky 5 flew over the scene earlier today, and you can see a black pickup truck badly damaged. WRAL's Heidi Kirk is live in Durham. Heidi, there is a large police presence on the scene.
Well, Jeff, Renee, this is as close as we are able to get to that scene, but I'm going to step out of the way and have you take a look back there. This is our best vantage point because State Highway Patrol has asked us to stand back as they continue investigating this incident. Now, go ahead and take a look at this. This is footage from Sky 5 this morning as it flew over this scene. Now, you can see where that black pickup truck crashed into a utility pole on Red Mill Road near the School for Creative Studies. The State Highway Patrol confirmed that a trooper was chasing that truck when it crashed here. We use Broadcastify to listen to radio traffic. You can hear a trooper yelling, shots fired, and asking for backup. Now, the pursuit and the crash have resulted in some road closures here, and several people, one of which we spoke to, are facing delays.
I'm a little frustrated, yeah. I would have hoped that, I would have hoped that they would have had a detour, but I see a lot of trucks and everybody's going around.
Now, just within the last 30 minutes or so, state troopers did tell us there's no ongoing threat here. Still a lot of questions remain about what exactly played out. We're going to continue asking state troopers those questions and bring you updates. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Durham.
We're also staying on top of a traffic alert near Fayetteville. A truck carrying a lot of produce caught on fire on I-95 north near NC 87. This is a look at that scene from Sky 5. One of the 2 northbound lanes was shut down, and it still is at this hour. WRAL's Ken Smith is in the traffic center right now at this situation. Ken, how folks can get around this with the lane closure there?
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that things are really beginning to clear up a little bit, because right now this purple line stretched all the way to Highway 24 and to Highway 87. But right now we have 1 of 2 lanes reopening there in near the Hope Mills exit. So if you want to get around it, the best bet, if you you have any friends or family coming north on 95 right now, tell them to get off on any Hope Mills exit, including exit 46. Work your way onto Business 95, and then as soon as you get it closer to Fayetteville, then you can work your way back onto I-95. Right now, we're being told that that one lane that remains closed as a result of what's happening there on I-95 North isn't expected to open until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll keep you posted.
Ken, thanks. A cybersecurity expert warns that hackers could continue to try to extort people for money. It comes after we've learned threat actors demanded cryptocurrency from school districts across North Carolina. They say they had the same data that hackers stole from Power School in December. WRAL's Destiny Patterson has been covering the Power School data breach from the beginning. Destiny, this is what cybersecurity experts warned about.
That's right, Renee. DPI says it's believed that these threat actors have access to that same data that you just mentioned. And just days ago, we told you that Power School paid a ransom to have that data deleted. We learned that through public records requests, and Power School officially confirmed that yesterday after the news of this incident. Officials told us that the company assured them the threat was contained. Cybersecurity expert Doug Levin told us to take that information with a grain of salt. Now, officials say threat actors are believed to be using that same data to get Bitcoin.
The fact that this threat actor group is now going back twice to the sort of first to the company and now to the school systems directly certainly suggests that paying any extortion demand is a very weak bet that they're going to do the right thing. These are criminals after all.
Now, Power School says that it sincerely regrets these developments, and it pains them that their customers are being threatened and re-victimized by these bad actors. DPI says that 20 school districts received this new extortion message, and the superintendent says that that's what makes this time different, that the threat actors reached out directly. Now, I did ask DPI if we could get a list of which school districts were actually impacted this time around, and they tell me that that information is confidential as the FBI investigates. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, it is the first full day of the conclave to find a replacement for Pope Francis. We are anticipating the results of a fourth conclave vote. This is a live look at the chimney there where either the black or the white smoke will billow, indicating if there is indeed a new pope or not today. Two previous unsuccessful rounds this morning and one last night. So this will be the fourth conclave vote. According to general guidance issued by the Vatican, the third vote should currently be underway, so we could see smoke coming out of that chimney at any moment now. St. Peter's Square, we're also hearing starting to fill up once again as the anticipation builds. This morning, there were about 10,000 people gathered around that did see that black smoke come out of the chimney. If no decision is made after 3 days, they will take a break. They do need 2/3 of the vote to have a decision. Again, the smoke could come from this chimney at any moment now. We'll monitor this for any details and bring you updates from the Live Center.
Thanks, Michelle. A confrontation between a passenger and Frontier Airlines employees at RDU is going viral. The video was posted on X, shows an employee mocking a traveler. WRAL's Monica Casey is live out at RDU right now with Frontier's response to all this. Monica.
Yeah, Jeff, that video was originally posted on a travel blog called The View from the Wing and then picked up by the New York Post. That man was trying to travel from RDU to Boston, flying Frontier. Here's what happened at the counter. 50 minutes before his flight, Frontier's policy is that check-in must happen an hour ahead of time. You also have to pay to print your boarding pass at the airport per Frontier. Now, the customer told that travel blog he pushed back but ultimately agreed to pay before that video was taken. He also said RDU police got involved. Broadcastify radio traffic shows what happened.
Simple. It's going to be Frontier ticket counter. White male, bald head, green shirt, causing a problem.
Units are clear code Q with a customer service issue. Subject has moved to JetBlue to book a ticket.
Now, that radio traffic is from last Friday, and RDU does confirm police were involved. No arrests or anything like that. About 15 minutes passed between that first dispatch call and the all clear. Now, Frontier tells WRAL the women in that video were employed by a third-party contractor, and they are no longer associated with the Frontier account. RDU has deferred to that airline for any further comment. Live at RDU, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
All right, breaking news right now in the WRAL Live Center. We have white smoke. I was just with you a couple of minutes ago. We were eagerly awaiting the vote for the new pope. We have just seen the white smoke. You're looking at it live right now on your screen. This came after the fourth vote, after two previously unsuccessful rounds this morning and one last night. Church bells are ringing right now, along with that white smoke coming from the Sistine Chapel. In 2013, Pope Francis was elected after 5 ballots after 2 days. So this is the second day we have white smoke. We officially have a brand new pope. NBC will be carrying an NBC special report in just a couple of minutes.
And the world eagerly awaits to see who that next pope is. Michelle, thank you. A man was shot and killed in Durham on South Benjamin Street. Law enforcement was on the scene since around 9:30 last night. They stayed for about 9 hours. It's not clear what led to the shooting. We are working to learn the name of the man who was killed and whether anyone has been charged. A car was hit by bullets at an apartment complex in Raleigh. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows the scene on Walnut View Road around 11 last night. Investigators say shots were fired during a fight. No one was hurt. Police say no one is in custody.
And we'll take a live look at stocks right now this noon and see how midweek trading as we head towards Friday, turning the corner just a little bit, some positive territory coming out of some positive tariff news as President Trump met with EU this morning and Britain. You see where Dow Jones is. It's been up all morning long, positive territory, up 559 points. NASDAQ certainly enjoying some positive run as well. It's up well over 300 points this noon. S&P 500 is also up almost 70 points right now. An extreme weather database that has tracked the cost of natural disasters since 1980 is being discontinued now. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration made the announcement today that it is being retired. Its billion-dollar weather and climate disasters database will be no more. It'll be archived, but no longer updated beyond 2024.
Next at noon, measles multiplying. How
And we are following that breaking news right now in the WRAL Live Center. A new pope has been chosen. This is a live look in Rome right now. You can still see that white smoke coming from the Sistine Chapel. It was announced around 12:08 this afternoon that a new pope had been chosen, announcing the election of a new leader for the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. Crowds in St. Peter's Square erupted in cheers as those church bells rang, confirming that the 133 cardinal electors had reached that two-thirds majority decision on who will succeed Pope Francis. Now, the new pope's identity will be revealed shortly by Dominic Mamberti. He's the senior cardinal deacon. The new pope will then be led through the hall of benedictions and out onto the balcony to greet everybody and say hello, where his identity will be revealed to the thousands below. People from all over the world have been gathering for this to learn who the new pope will be. Again, a new pope chosen about 10 minutes ago. Now, this entire process for the pope, he has been chosen. It's going to take about an hour. So right now, bells still ringing there, people cheering. Of course, we are following this very closely, and the Live Center will bring you any updates as they come in.
It is history happening in front of us. More than 1,000 measles cases have been reported in the United States this year, and new reports are expected to be released tomorrow, possibly surpassing that number. Amy Kiley explains how this could end up being the highest annual case count since the U.S. declared measles eliminated.
get a measles vaccine.
New analysis shows the number of measles cases reported in the U.S. this year just surpassed 1,000. That's based on data from the CDC and state health departments. Many of the cases are related to an outbreak in West Texas, but most states have reported the disease.
The problem is when vaccination rates fall below 95% for measles or under 90% in public schools, you see big outbreaks.
This is likely to be the worst year for measles in the U.S. since its declared elimination in 2000. The only other that's close is 2019, when outbreaks around New York City pushed the total to 1,274 cases. This year's count is 1,002 as of yesterday, and it's only May.
If you're immune compromised or you haven't been vaccinated, you should probably think twice about going to areas where there's a lot of measles circulating.
Many experts think the actual number of cases is probably higher. They say early symptoms can resemble other illnesses, and most modern doctors haven't seen measles firsthand.
We were able to eradicate measles, and now they're back.
The CDC says 3 people have died of measles in the U.S. this year. The agency says before the MMR vaccine, the U.S. saw hundreds of measles deaths annually.
This virus can cause you to be hospitalized and die.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A 3-day ceasefire is now in effect in Ukraine. The pause was unilaterally declared by Russian President Vladimir Putin as Russia marks the anniversary of its World War II Victory Day on Friday. The high-profile event is expected to be attended by leaders of several countries that are friendly with Russia, including China's Xi Jinping. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky called Putin's announcement a theatrical performance and reiterated his country's support for an earlier U.S. proposal for a 30-day ceasefire, which Russia has rejected.
White House is pulling its support for Dr. Jeanette Nesheiwat to become the next U.S. Surgeon General. Her Senate confirmation hearing was supposed to begin today, and President Trump posted on social media that he was instead supporting Dr. Casey Means. She's a wellness influencer with close ties to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Means became a leader in the Make America Healthy Again movement after dropping out of her surgical residency program. Exciting news with the white smoke coming up at the Vatican there today, this noon. It's just a historic time. We'll be following that for you throughout the day, but we got clear skies, no doubt here.
Yeah, and we're also following a storm system that will be moving into our area later tonight. But first, it is dry and even sunny there on the WRAL weather patio. Elizabeth, I bet it feels great.
It does. It feels wonderful out here. Temperatures are nice and mild. We're following the system that's coming through. Plenty of people, as you can see behind me, out and about enjoying this little break in the precipitation. But the system, of course, will continue to move eastward. Right now, nothing showing up on dual Doppler 5000 radar, but there's definitely rain in South Carolina. Some of that could end up clipping our southern counties. We do have a level 1 risk for severe storms across the viewing area, but our severe weather threat doesn't really kick in until maybe as early as 8 or 9 o'clock as we see a real heftier line of thunderstorms coming through. We also have that same risk on Friday. A level 1 risk means that we would just have isolated storms producing wind damage that wouldn't be widespread. Here's Futurecast at lunchtime, and notice again around 5 o'clock a couple of isolated cells pop up, but it's nothing widespread for the evening commute. And then around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we start to see some thunderstorms moving in. You can see that rain becomes heavy. We'll likely have some lightning, thunder with that, and possibly some gusty, damaging winds. That continues all the way through midnight into the early part of tomorrow. There's 6 a.m. A little bit different from the previous runs. This is a new run that I'm showing you here at noon. It hangs around a little bit longer during the morning tomorrow. It still looks like it'll clear on out as we get through the morning commute, but it may just be a little wetter at the start. If you happen to be one of those folks who is out early, say 5, 6, even 7 o'clock, there may still be some lingering rain. A pause in the precipitation around lunchtime, but then around 2 or 3, we begin to see another line of storms move through. Watch how it gets pretty intense by, say, 4 or 5 o'clock along the I-95 corridor. That may be where we'll have the best chance of seeing any storms. Again, the biggest threat would be damaging wind or possibly some hail. After that, really much of Friday evening and Friday night looks nice and quiet behind the front. Behind me is the WRAL Gardens, which is feeling lovely right now. 78 is our temperature. Our dew point still at 59. We'll take all the 50s we can get with with our dew point. As it gets into the 60s, it starts to feel a little more sticky. 83 for Raleigh and Durham today, 84 in Fayetteville. So definitely on the warm side, warmer than normal, but with the low humidity, it doesn't feel too bad. During daylight hours today, we're just looking at a 20% chance. Once we get past sunset, that chance goes up for thunderstorms and stays up during the day on Friday at 60%. Looking ahead to the weekend, now if you happen to be watching yesterday, it looked like the models were really starting to push a little bit more rain in for Mother's Day. And today, the models have gone right back to what we saw earlier in the week, which is dry conditions. So for Mother's Day, not bad. 9 a.m., 61 degrees, 71 at noon, and 76 in the afternoon. So it should be real pretty. It may be a fairly cloudy day, but right now we're not looking at a big chance for rain. I'll keep my eye on it. We still have 4 more days until Mother's Day. It's possible that a front that will be to our south could lift northward. I'm going to show you that and how all that transpires as we get through the weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
Old car risks. It turns out those cars you might be trying to save money on could put your teenager's life at risk. What a new CDC study found when it comes to accidents involving teens in older vehicles.
And preparing for hurricanes. Wake County is encouraging you to be prepared after Hurricane Helene devastated parts of our state last year. At 5:30, the recommended steps you can take to protect you and your family.
And decision made, the white smoke signaling that the conclave has come to a consensus and there is a new pope. As the world anxiously awaits who that will be, we will keep following these developments out of the Vatican. Stay with us.
And we continue to follow that breaking news right now in the WRAL Live Center. A new pope has been chosen. A live look in Rome as all of the people gathered for hours, days, people from all over the world eagerly awaiting the announcement of the new pope. That was announced right around 12:10 this afternoon. It came after 5 votes. That white smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel's chimney. We actually have that video right here of exactly when that happened. You can see the white smoke coming from the Sistine Chapel. 133 cardinal electors reached a 2/3 majority decision on who will succeed Pope Francis. So now we're just waiting to see who it is. Obviously, it was a very secretive process. The new pope's identity will be revealed shortly by Dominic Mamberti. He's the senior cardinal deacon. The new pope is likely getting dressed, just taking a moment in a private room to compose himself before he is introduced to the world. The new pope will be led through the Hall of Benedictions and out onto the balcony where he will greet the crowds. His identity will be revealed to the thousands that are gathered there right now. This whole process should take about an hour. Everybody obviously very excited, eagerly awaiting to see who the new pope will be. Crowds there say this has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience for them. Just so exciting. So we are eagerly awaiting to see who the new pope will be.
Such excitement for all those people crammed into St. Peter's Square to witness this moment in history. Their phones are ready to take pictures of the new pope. Well, scammers are spoofing state DOJ and law enforcement agencies' phone numbers. According to the Attorney General's office, con artists are disguising themselves as officials to trick people into giving up personal information. Now, if you get a call that seems off, even if the caller ID says NCDOJ, hang up. Real law enforcement will never ask for your details or money over the phone. The U.S. Department of Justice and the FTC are collecting complaints about concerts and ticket pricing. The agencies are looking for input from artists and fans about unfair and anti-competitive business practices in the ticketing industry. They are taking comments through July 6th. This comes amid a DOJ lawsuit against Ticketmaster. The agencies say they will use the feedback to make recommendations on new rules or laws.
Ford is increasing prices on some of its vehicles made in Mexico because of higher tariffs. Ford says the price hikes will affect its Bronco Sport, Maverick pickup, and Mustang Mach-E electric SUV built after May 2nd. Ford says its suggested retail price could increase by as much as $2,000. The models affected are expected to arrive in dealerships in June.
Digital disruption. The work to address cell phone use in schools gets back underway today. Why some officials are saying the less students are on their phones, the better. And here's a look at the North Carolina education winning lottery numbers. We'll be back.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And that breaking news right now, Durham police are investigating after a chase ended in a crash right near a school.
Sky 5 flew over the scene earlier today. You can see a black pickup truck badly damaged. WRAL's Heidi Kirk is live in Durham. And Heidi, is there still a large police presence on the scene?
Well, Jeff, Renee, there's a lot going on here as we speak. This is as close as we are able to get to that scene because this is an ongoing investigation. I'm going to have my photographer give you a look. Again, lots of Durham police, state troopers here on the scene as we speak. Now, go ahead and take a look at this footage from Sky 5 this morning. You can see where that black pickup truck crashed into a utility pole on Red Mill Road near the School for Creative Studies. Now, the State Highway Patrol confirmed that a trooper was chasing that truck when it crashed here. Now, we used Broadcastify to listen to radio traffic. You can hear a trooper yelling shots fired and asking for backup. The pursuit and crash have resulted in some road closures here, and several people are facing delays. And now, within just the last 30 minutes or so, Durham police said that there is no threat here. We're going to continue monitoring this situation and bring you updates as the day goes on. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Durham.
And we want to take you back out to Rome. A new pope has been chosen. This is a live look at what's happening right now in front of the Vatican. Thousands gathered, people from all over the world to experience this once-in-a-lifetime experience, this monumental moment. A 2/3 majority decision was reached for the new pope. White smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel around 12:10 our time. The new pope's identity will be revealed very shortly. But again, as I mentioned, thousands of people there right now to witness this. Take a listen to what one person had to say about this.
You were just here for that moment.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what that was like?
It was incredible. I'd actually just gotten my rosary out to start praying and said, in Our Father, that the Holy Spirit would help elect a pope. And then we saw the white smoke and I was like, oh my gosh, that's white. It's white.
Such an exciting opportunity for all of those who are there live to witness this. That soundbite there was from the NBC special report that is happening right now. But Dominique Mamberti, the senior cardinal deacon, he will introduce the new pope very shortly. The new pope is likely in a private room, just kind of composing himself before he is led out onto the balcony to introduce himself to the world. He'll be led through the Hall of Benedictions and out onto the balcony where his identity will be revealed. Obviously, we are keeping a very close eye on all of this. It's all happening live right now outside of the Vatican in Rome. So we will continue to monitor this for you and bring you the latest.
It is a conclave conclusion, but the excitement still. Who is it going to be? We'll wait and see. Michelle, thanks for that. In less than an hour, the governor's Student Safety Task Force will talk up cell phone use in schools. The group has made this one of its biggest issues. And WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains how they're working to put together guidance for school districts across the state.
Within the next hour, the governor's Student Safety Task Force will talk about cell phone policies that could impact your student's school day. Here at Dillard Drive Middle, we know that students have to keep their phones off and away except during lunch. Conversations are happening in the state legislature about cell phone policies in schools. This afternoon, the task force is brainstorming about how to put those policies in action. They're asking questions like, when should students be able to access their phones at school? What tools should schools have to enforce cell phone policies? And should these policies vary based on grade level? Data shows students receive 250 to 400 phone notifications a day at school. William Lassiter from the Department of Public Safety says phones are a distraction in the classroom. He says the less students are on their phones, the better.
All the research shows that this helps with social development of our kids. If they're only relying on their cell phones to message their friends and not actually using their words and reaching out to real people, it actually delays some of their social development.
The task force will meet again later this month. They're finalizing a best practices guide for local school districts about these cell phone policies. They'll have to submit that to the governor on June 3rd. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Wake County.
Today, a proposal to change the pay structure for school bus drivers in Durham is under review. The Board of Education is holding a work session this evening at 5:30. They will talk about a plan that would change how certified and classified drivers will get paid. The suggestion is to compensate certified staff at $25 an hour. Classified staff will be compensated time and a half of their hourly rate.
5 parks and playgrounds in Durham are still off limits for kids at a time when they could use them the most. Tonight, our WRAL investigation explores what's taking so long to address the lead in those parks. Sarah Kruger has a preview.
We're heading into a second summer now with the parks looking like this, fenced off and inaccessible. It's a sad sight for families. All of this comes after Duke researchers discovered alarmingly high levels of lead in the soil. That was in 2022, and still there's no end in sight.
I know that things move slowly, and especially with a situation like this, you want to be careful, but it has been taking a very long time.
How high a priority should this be for the city to fix this and fix this quickly?
It should be a very high priority.
Tonight at 6, WRAL Investigates is speaking with parents and with the parks director when a solution could come. That story again tonight at 6. Sarah Kruger, WRAL News in Durham.
And also tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes' quest for the Cup marches on. They will play Game 2 of their series against the Washington Capitals. Canes are looking to take a 2-0 lead in the series after they won Game 1 in overtime Tuesday night. Puck drop for tonight's game, 7 o'clock. WRAL is your home for Canes playoff coverage. We are breaking down the game-changing moments with inside analysis from former Canes Shane Willis. Catch Canes' exclusive post-game live only on WRAL tonight at 11:25.
And we'll take you back to the Vatican. Earlier, all eyes were on that chimney, and once it blew white smoke within the last 30 minutes with a new pope, now all eyes are on this balcony where the new pope will greet the world. Stay with us.
And we continue to follow that breaking news in Rome. A new pope has been chosen. This is a live look outside the Vatican right now as the world eagerly awaiting to see who the next pope is. White smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel's chimney just after 12 o'clock our time, which was just after 6 p.m. there in Rome. The new pope's identity will be revealed very shortly. Thousands have gathered to witness this monumental moment. They say the mood there right now is electric. People are rejoicing. Some call it a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We heard from a bishop of a diocese in Minnesota who was surprised at the timing of everything. Take a listen.
It was sooner than I thought. I was anticipating perhaps tomorrow. You know, there were some divisions among the cardinals during the general congregations. A lot of us thought it would take a little while to sort this out. The fact they came to a consensus pretty quickly, obviously, I think it's telling and very interesting. Did a candidate emerge that everyone said, okay, we can at least live with this candidate? That seems to be what happened. So I think a lot of us were surprised by the rapidity of this.
And that, of course, happening during NBC's special report that's happening right now. Now, traditionally, the Pope appears on the balcony outside of the Vatican overlooking St. Peter's Square about 30 to 60 minutes after that smoke. So really, he could be coming out any moment now. His papal name will be announced, and the new Pope will then speak briefly and say a prayer over the crowd. His formal coronation will take place days after the election. The last 2 popes have been inaugurated in St. Peter's Square. So again, all eyes on that balcony right now.
4 rounds of voting within 2 days, a pretty quick decision for this conclave. SAS announced several new artificial intelligence tools during an event in Orlando. The Cary-based company showed off its AI agents with customizable human-AI interaction. SAS leaders say this will help organizations create AI agents that can fuel trusted decisions. AI agents are trained on specific data sets. The company says it plans to launch an AI governance solution capable of monitoring AI systems.
As we take another live look right here at the balcony where, as Michelle just said, the Pope will be coming out here very shortly. And this is that live look. 133 cardinals, the largest group and most diverse group geographically to ever select a pope. They came to a 2/3 conclusion on that vote there and have named a new pope.
A new leader for the Catholic Church has officially been chosen. We have a new pope announced just after 12 o'clock our time, just after 6 p.m. in Rome. This is a live look right outside the Vatican. Look how many people are there, filling St. Peter's Square, eagerly awaiting to see who the new pope is. He will walk out on the Vatican balcony. We are awaiting that moment any second now. There it is right there. There is the balcony. All eyes on that balcony. That is where the new pope will walk out and greet the crowd. We've heard that the mood there is electric. People are rejoicing. People are praying. We're hearing from many different people from all over the world that are there celebrating this monumental moment. This couple here on their honeymoon. Take a listen.
So cool to be here. We're only in Rome for 3 days. To be able to be here coincidentally for this, everything, it's truly unbelievable.
Joe, what was that like? What's it like hearing these bells ringing, be around all these people?
It's a surreal moment. It's hard to put in words right now, but like my wife said, to only be here for 3 days and to be a part of history, I can't wait to tell my grandkids about this one day.
Imagine that on your honeymoon and you were there when the new pope is chosen. That is absolutely incredible. Some are hoping that the new pontiff takes a similar path as Pope Francis by helping the poor, fixing the world, and also helping immigrants. Now, traditionally, the pope will appear on the balcony about 30 to 60 minutes after the signal. So we did see the smoke come about 12:10 our time. So really, any moment now, that pope could be walking out onto the balcony. His papal name will be announced. The pope will then speak and briefly say a prayer over the crowd.
You can see the joy and feel the relief and hope out of all those folks. Now, whether you are hitting the beach, mowing the lawn, or tending your garden, don't forget your sunscreen. Consumer Reports just released its exclusive annual sunscreen ratings, testing more than 100 products. Keely Arthur breaks down which ones offer the best protection without burning your budget.
Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the U.S., and 1 in 5 Americans will get it in their lifetime. But the simple act of putting on sunscreen, that can make all the difference.
UVB rays primarily cause sunburn. UVA rays contribute to premature skin aging. Both types contribute to the risk of skin cancer, which remains the most common kind of cancer in the United States.
This year, Copper Tone Water Babies Lotion SPF 50 stood out among lotions, earning high marks in both UVA protection and SPF performance. And if you prefer a spray, Eucerin Advanced Hydration Spray SPF 50 came out on top. Make sure you're using something that is at least SPF 30, but it's not just the number that matters. You want to make sure your bottle says broad spectrum. That means you'll be protected by both UVA and UVB rays. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
I think we're both spray people.
Yeah, I prefer the spray. Yeah,
total coverage.
It's a little bit of less messy, I feel like.
That's true. Sunshine out there for certain. Elizabeth Gardner found some on the WRAL weather patio right now. Pretty comfortable there.
It feels great out here right now. It's kind of hard to imagine that we're potentially going to see some severe storms later on today. As a matter of fact, I have a new update on that. You can see the yellow shaded area. That's a level 2 risk, and that does include all of, or at least part of Wake County, all of Durham County, and then everything back to the west, part of Cumberland County down around Fayetteville. So really from Raleigh westward, we're looking at that level 2 risk for severe storms, and the eastern part of the viewing area in that level 1 risk. Wind damage and large hail will be our biggest threats. What does a level 2 risk mean? It means that scattered severe storms are possible. Of course, it's one level up from that level 1 risk that we were talking about a little bit earlier, where it's isolated. So it's, more. So a better chance of seeing some storms, still short-lived, still not terribly widespread, but definitely, a bump up from that level 1 risk. Looking just beautiful right now. Some cloud cover in Fayetteville. Early in the newscast, we talked about the fact that there were some storms down in South Carolina. That's going to at least send some cloud cover our way. way for our southern counties. But Apex, Raleigh, Chapel Hill, all looking beautiful with lots of sunshine. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. You can see those thunderstorms down there in South Carolina. You can see the cold front still well to the west. That cold front's crossing the Mississippi Valley, so it's still pretty far away from us. We'll zoom in and take a look at those storms. It's a fairly fast-moving cluster, and it's all moving past Columbia down toward Charleston and really offshore. So it doesn't look like it's really going to have too much of an effect even on our southern counties, except maybe just due to some cloud cover. This is a look at our severe risk for Friday. It is a level 1 risk. It'll be interesting to see if that bumps up at all tomorrow, especially in our eastern counties. I feel like our eastern counties most likely tomorrow afternoon will have a greater threat than, say, from the Triangle area westward. Here's a look at today. Again, a lot of sunshine now. We'll continue to see increasing clouds through the afternoon. Maybe an isolated shower down near the Virginia line as we get into, say, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. But then by 8 or 9 o'clock, we're starting to see things really ramp up. A better chance for storms, heavier rain. You can see that all the way up until, say, 1 o'clock or so. And then another wave that comes in very early tomorrow morning. You can see that around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Very heavy rain, some thunderstorms, possibly some severe weather with that. And then it moves on out. We get a break around lunchtime. And then with the front itself, that cold front, we'll have another chance for severe storms between 2 and 3 o'clock, all the way up until around 5, 6, 7 o'clock, depending on how far east you are. You can see that it's a pretty angry looking line there, at least on Futurecast in our eastern counties. And then we're done with it for Friday evening and the rest of Friday night. So for a recap, we're going to see that cold front moving through. We have a level 1 and 2 risk for it today, a level 1 risk for Friday. You can see that front slipping southward and staying put there pretty much through the weekend. We're going to be watching Sunday. The models occasionally keep wanting to bump that up into our area for late Sunday. It's been real back and forth, so we'll keep our eye on it. Right now, we're going to keep Sunday dry, but definitely Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, all look wet. Mother's Day not looking too bad. We're trending drier for Sunday right now. Saturday looks really nice, and of course, we have some graduations on Saturday and Sunday. The weather looks great for those as well.
Thanks for that, Elizabeth. Take you back for a live look right now. Vatican City here. That is on your right. That is the doorway where the new Pope will come out any minute now, really. We're expecting that. And you can tell that the atmosphere has gone from anticipatory and prayerful, and now it is jubilant. And they are excited to meet their new Pope. 10,000 people stacking into St. Peter's Square there on your left.